Oh, it didn't work.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Engineers Without Filters podcast, episode 116. I'm your host, Jacob Thompson, and I'm still drinking Oberon because why would I stop? All right, it's a great beer. I got a lot of it in my fridge, so I'm gonna keep working my way through it.
That's a fair point. I'm Joseph, and I'm drinking Deschutes Squeezy Rider West Coast IPA.
Haven't seen Deschutes in a minute.
Yeah, I haven't had a Deschutes in a while, and I forget how good they are. I bought this today, but it's pretty good. I've been eyeing they have their fresh squeeze IPA, and they had another one I've been eyeing for a while, but finally decided to pull the trigger on it because it's a crazy choice. But usually there's like one that sounds a little more crazier. Like, I don't know, Deschutes is like not an obscure brewery,
Right.
So I'm not...
It's like an alternative, band. It's like people have heard of them, but they're not, in the top 40.
Yeah, it's not like, going with the music, like you're digging through a record store or whatever. Oh, what's this weird thing I've never heard of? Versus the Rolling Stones. Like, Rolling Stones are good, or insert popular band name here. But like, let's see what this crazy thing is. That's how I am with beer. Not to say that Deschutes is the Rolling Stones, but like,
Yeah, you're a madman, Joseph.
I am.
He's unhinged. And I'm Dayton, and you know what? Finally came out to the East Coast here. Oberon.
He's got it, baby.
Yep.
Nice.
Finally found it.
Hell yeah. We are missing Gabe tonight. He is just getting back from a stint in Iowa for work, and he's very tired. And we're like, dude, just don't worry about it. Take the night off. So he'll be back next week. But yeah, welcome back to the Engineers Without Filters podcast. As always, you can find our show on Mondays on YouTube and podcast services. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at ewfpodcast, and go and follow us on Twitch at ewf_podcast, where we're live right now, recording this episode early for you on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. We also stream some games earlier in the week. Next week, I guess it'll be, by the time you're listening to this, it'll be on Tuesday night for that Apex Legends new season, baby. Very excited. So come check us out for that. But before we get into our topics today, I want to do another round of weekly anecdotes, see what's been popping off recently. Dayton, you said you tried a new food tonight. What's that about?
I did try a new food. So this came out of recommendation from one of my coworkers. He knows that I'm vegan, so he doesn't. This is I guess it's vegan, right? Oh, it's got to be bad. But it actually did turn out to be kind of nasty. It is a food that is called Natto, and it is.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, it's a Japanese fermented soybean, sort of like dish, and like you're supposed to like stir it up, and like it gets like really like sticky and slimy, and like it looks really nasty. And like the taste, you're supposed to like mix it with warm rice, and like I don't know how to describe it. Like it wasn't like bad. It wasn't like bad like it made me want to like vom or anything like that. It just was like, why am I eating this? Like,
was it the texture or the flavor?
The flavor, the texture, it wasn't bad, but like the flavor, it was just like, I don't know. I don't have words to describe it. And like when I was like smelling it, it smelled like very like rich, but I don't. It just didn't smell like anything that I'd ever smelled before.
Oh, like wasn't even reminiscent of soy at all.
No, it wasn't. Like some people said that it smells like stinky feet, but like I don't think it smelled like stinky feet. I don't know.
Interesting.
So you had it with just rice, like no.
Yeah, you're supposed, because like the natto is like seasoned. Like you add like seasoning to it, and then you like mix it all up, and then you like add rice to it.
I've heard of it just from anime, because you mentioned it's a Japanese thing, and like a couple shows I've seen, like they're pulling out some natto, and they just like ferment it like in a big husk or something like that.
Yeah, I
And
don't know how it works.
usually an anime food looks really good, but the couple times I've seen natto, I'm like, I don't need to try that. Like I'm sure it's a local thing and people like it, but it's not for me. It doesn't
Yeah,
look super appealing.
yeah, nah, I was not a fan. Not a
Hmm.
fan. But you know, I'm glad I tried it because now I can say
Yeah.
that I've tried it and I don't like it.
Did your
So
does your friend like it, or is he just like, oh, let's try this because
yeah, yeah, I think he likes it. I mean, so he's Asian, so I think he's like grown up with it. But
gotcha.
I I don't know. He said that he's brought it into the office before, and I don't know. I haven't smelled it, but like I could definitely smell it lingering in my kitchen.
Well, I'll speaking of anime, I want to mention me and my friend Lissa saw the Demon Slayer movie this weekend.
Ooh,
Waiting for it forever. I know Joseph also saw it. Um, but we had a interesting experience. First time going back to a theater in
it
over
was
a year.
weird.
I think the last time was probably Star Wars last December, like
Was
December
it Star Wars?
2019. I think so. Well,
Hmm.
no, well, I'm just I know we
Didn't
went
we?
to somewhere in San Anthony. Went to see a movie into
Was
2018,
it
maybe early
Spider-Man?
2020.
I remember. See, I was thinking it was when we saw Knives Out, but it might have been more.
Where would we see
It
that?
was in South Haven. That
That was
was
in South
what?
Haven.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Thanksgiving. I think we might have saw a movie after that. Anyway, it's been a long time, right? And I like the theater more or less. I've never loved the theater. I'm never one of those people who like absolutely loves it. Um, so I kind of like being on my own watching stuff. But anyway, I like the big screen, like the big noises, the big speakers. Anyway,
Big noises.
we get to the theater. We have our tickets ahead of time. Get them, walk in, right? And
Hmm.
go to our spots. And there's a guy sitting in front of us, no mask and coughing. And it's like,
Oh,
dude, like I know, like if he wasn't wearing a mask, it'd be like that's frustrating to like whatever. But he was also coughing. It's like, are you not aware of like? Thank God he was sitting in front of us. So if he was sick, it'd go for it. It was just like, come on, dude. So that was just like frustrating. And then you're watching the movie or whatever. And very, very minor spoilers, but at one point in the movie, something happens, okay?
what?
And
Things happen?
something big happens, and this girl, like to our back, left a couple rows back, just starts sobbing so loud, like a sad thing happens. And like I get it, it's a sad event, and I understand why she's upset. So I heard a lot of people like sniffling and stuff. But this girl was like loudly sobbing in the theater with like 25 people in it, and it's just and she could not control it. She just kept like through the rest of the movie, and it was just very uncomfortable because it was like it was at a quiet point in the movie, so there's no like music or dialogue to cover it up. Like it was a prominent uncomfortable sob.
Oh,
It was just and that's what I'm like I love seeing the big screen, but like this is why I like watching stuff at home. I have to deal with other people. I have to deal with this
Mhm.
coughing dude, this sobbing girl. So I don't know. I was happy to be back, but also not really. I kind of liked watching things at home. So, but
yeah.
all
I
that
had
being said, still a great movie.
a similar experience where there was a group of girls behind us and they were laughing like at the cheesy like cheap jokes. It was
Yeah,
like it's
they
funny.
they, they
I'll
gag
chuckle,
jokes. Yeah,
and like it's anime, so like
yeah,
I don't know, it's just like this. The humor is niche, not niche,
yeah.
but like
It's
specific,
specific. Yeah,
you
you
know,
exhale
and
out of your nose. Like you get.
yeah, and
Yeah,
like it's like there's like a dream sequence, right? Like they could not handle the side character's dream sequence. Jacob knows what I'm talking
yeah,
about. It was kind of funny, right? I
yeah.
chuckled, but this group of people could not handle it. And then the same thing, crying at the same point he was talking about. It's like
Hmm.
this is taking me out of the movie. Like I don't know, it's you know, big screen, big noises, as Jacob was saying, and like it it you get into it, and then like someone else behind you is kicking your chair or something, and it
Well,
you you get knocked out pretty quick.
and there's a place for it. Like when we saw like Endgame opening night. And
Yeah.
spoilers, Steve gets the hammer. It's like, yeah, everyone's gonna fucking cheer because that's fucking awesome, and that's like a cool moment. But like, this is like a matinee showing. not a whole lot of people, like less than half full, and there's like one person sobbing. It's like this is just uncomfortable for everyone, you know?
I know it was like 2 o'clock on a Sunday. Like,
Yeah.
come on, guys.
But yeah, it's a great movie though. Had a good time. Joseph, I think you got quite the story for us.
Yeah. So, if you was it last week or 2 weeks ago, Alyssa, my girlfriend, was on the podcast. It was last week. No, it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
It was 2 weeks ago. I have to think about it in Photoshops. It's 2 Photoshops to go. All the episodes blend together. But anyway, she moved out of her old house and she's moving into a new apartment this next weekend. So she's in a bit of a limbo right now. But anyway, she got a call from her roommate. Well, first of all, two of her roommates were kind of like, we don't want to keep a lot of our stuff. We want to get rid of as much of it as we can before we move, which is fair. So they're like, if you want any of the kitchen stuff, if you want any of like this stuff, like have at it, you know. So Alyssa was kind of going through stuff and like, okay, these are the decent pots and pans, kitchen knives, whatever. So she was already kind of like, there's already kind of a lot of stuff still in the house when we were moving out. And then her roommate was like, I'm just going to throw away and give away all this stuff for free, like couches and stuff, like stuff she could easily sell for like, maybe not a lot, but like sell it, you know?
Yeah.
But they're like throwing it away and like the garbage is overloading. Anyway, so it's a couple. It's, you know, her friends from high school, or from college, excuse me, dating. So the girl has a family emergency on Sunday night. And she has to travel out of the state for it. You know, there's a death in the family. So she leaves, or she's leaving in the next morning. She calls Alyssa up and says, hey, there's still like stuff in the house that's ours. Can you like clean up our stuff and throw it away? And Alyssa's like, yeah, sure, I can do that. And she's like, oh yeah, because I know the boyfriend won't. So the boyfriend is what at the time was still here. He ended up traveling, meeting up with them later. But so she called Alyssa in to clean up the rest of their shit because she knew that her boyfriend would not do it, would not take care of his own stuff. Like, like it's his stuff that he lived there, and now they're moving into a new apartment. He's not willing to take care of it. And this man works part-time. It's not like he's got a full-time job that he's, you know, busy all day, every day. And so Alyssa,
absolute horseshit.
Yeah, went and like cleaned some of it up. And she's like, this is stupid. This is fucking bullshit. I'm not like, this is not my problem. And she got a lot of it done, but she was not excited about it, to say the least. And she's debating whether to like call him out on it or not.
I would. Fuck him.
Yeah, but like she wants to kind of still be friends with the girl and doesn't want to burn that bridge completely. So is it worth it? Like, you know, just cut him out of your life and never deal with it again? Is it worth, you know?
I would say so.
Oh no, I'm in the same boat. We're all in agreement here. We're all,
yeah. Because I was talking to Alyssa about it off stream. I don't know.
Yeah.
A few days ago about it. I'm like, fucking burn all these bridges, man. These people suck. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Get them out of your life. Get
Dude,
that negative energy out of your life.
That was like in what was that, senior year of college during O week, and that cheerleader was like, oh, you can make so many new friends, and I'm just like, yo, I'm gonna be real. I'm trying to get rid of friends at this point.
yeah, kind of like that. So she's and then right, so she's a teacher. So she mentioned that she was moving out last week to her students, and they're like, how do you like your new apartment? She's like, oh, well, I'm moving in this next week. And they're like, wait, but I thought you already moved out. Like, what? And she's like, oh yeah, I'm just staying with a friend, like, for the time being. And they're like, oh, is she fun? Because like if it's just a friend, it's probably a girl. And she's like, you can't tell her or tell the kids that like, oh, it's actually a boy. Oh, you're not supposed to stay the night at boys' houses, or you know, whatever, you know, 10-year-old kids are gonna make a big deal about.
Just be super vague, like, yeah, they have nice long hair. You know, they cook a
Yeah.
great meal.
Yeah.
You know, it's a
Wouldn't
good
know the
time.
difference. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was
No, that sucks. That reminds me of when I was in that apartment-ish thing when I was at my internship
Mm-hmm.
in like a student complex
Oh yeah.
place, and it was a 3-person apartment. But I was the only person who lived there. But those people were still on a lease, and I had to clean up all their shit that they had left there because they were living there in the entire summer, and then they were like moving out. It was very confusing in that situation. But I had to clean up a bunch of shit. I had to clean up somebody's like uh bowl outside where they had spit tobacco into. And it's just like, this should not be my fucking job, but like no one else is gonna do it, and I don't want to get fined by the complex. So it's just that all those situations always fucking suck because I totally empathize with Alyssa because like she has to get that shit done because it'll cost her money if she doesn't.
Well, she's pretty confident she's not getting the security deposit back either way. So
Yeah, it sucks. But at least
In
it's
that
over now. He's
case,
got to
like-
move her into a new spot, and then
exactly, and then a lot better roommate. So I'm confident it will be a better situation altogether.
See, those situations are so tough because the shitty person always has the upper hand.
Yeah. Because they can just
Like-
keep doing what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
fucking freshman year dorms, man. My roommate, I was like, hey, so I'll vacuum this week, and then you vacuum in 2 weeks, and we'll just rotate. And he's like, well, I don't care if the floor is dirty or not, so I'm not gonna vacuum.
Right.
And it's like, I can't argue with that logic. Like,
Yeah. How am I gonna make you vacuum?
So I vacuum my half of the room, and that was it, you know.
Mm.
But
I don't even know how to like approach that. Like,
yeah,
I would just be like,
it's like my brain is breaking. Like, yeah.
But you gotta though.
That's
Some
why
more.
those
I
are
got
so
another story of this man's and
Oh, go for it.
his life. So he likes to eat as some people do. I don't agree with it, but some people do. He likes to eat breakfast cereal for breakfast. I think breakfast cereal is the worst shit out there. I hate cereal. Cold
So are you
cereal,
just,
no.
are you just saying that because it's so sugary, or just like in general, you're just not really a fan?
It's cold and wet and soggy. It's not enjoyable. And it's like not filling. It's just grain and sugar
I don't disagree, but it
and
tastes
milk.
good. You know,
It does
like,
it.
especially at a
Does
late
it?
night snack. Ooh,
Mhm.
some Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Come on,
No.
come on.
I mean, I
Point
like
Anyway.
being,
I like
this
it just
man
because of the
frequent-
sugar.
this man frequently eats breakfast cereal.
Mhm.
And he's an adult. He's graduated college. He has a degree, but for the life of him, apparently cannot guesstimate how much cereal he plans on eating. So instead of powering through it and finishing the bowl of cereal, or accurately measuring out how much cereal he plans on eating, he takes the bowl of cereal, the leftover cereal, and they don't have a garbage disposal, so you can't like just dump it down the drain.
Right.
And he doesn't want to like sift, like hold his fingers or something over the
Just get the
cereal,
milk
dump
out,
the
yeah.
milk out. He dumps it down the toilet and flushes it. And like, I'll give him props. Hold on, no. I'll give him props. The first time, when it's like a one-time thing, like, fuck, I don't have time to eat this cereal. I got to get out the door. I don't have time to clean it. I got to get rid of this. I'll flush it down this one time and I'll be done with it. The bathroom is right next to the kitchen. It's 2 steps away. It's not a big deal. Not far at all. But he did this consistently. And that's where I have the problem with it.
Just throw it in the trash.
But then
Like,
you've got like milk,
Liquid. Yeah, you have liquid in the trash.
like like a cup of milk or however much milk sitting. And like if he does this like every other day or something, I don't know how often it was, but it was not a rare occurrence.
Oh my god, dude, like
How often would you say it was?
I saw it 5 times in the year that I lived.
So
But-
she saw it 5 times,
I also was 4 days.
but Yeah, she was gone most
I don't
of
know
the
what
time.
I'm more upset about. Him consistently eating cereal, not being able to estimate how hungry he is, or I honestly can't tell if it's genius or so stupid to put it down the toilet.
See, I think that's what I'm saying. Like the first time, it's not a bad idea. But like if you're consistently doing this and like not able to measure out, like that's
Yeah.
wasting cereal and milk. I don't know if he's the kind
Yeah.
of person to drink the milk afterwards. I feel like that's pretty common.
It's like I've been in that
That's wasting
situation
food.
where I usually eat cereal at night if I'm gonna eat it ever, right? And I overestimate how hungry I am, and I get to it, and I'm like, I'm just not gonna be able to finish this, or I'm not gonna drink the milk or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll do a little pour and try to hold back the remaining cereal with like a spoon.
Yeah. Whatever.
Even if I don't get all the milk, just most of it, and then rest in the trash. I'm like, it's fine, but just.
But the thing is, he also never took out the trash and would just like take the bag out, set it next to it, put a new bag in. Like he wouldn't take it out to the dumpster.
Those
or
people
anything.
drive me. People that at the fucking old house did that shit after you guys moved out that summer, where they were just, oh, trash is full. Actually, take it out and tie it up, and just leave it right in the kitchen. Just fucking take it the 10 steps outside, like.
Yeah. No, it is like he rarely. I don't think he ever did dishes, and so like cereal is the most food he would cook, besides like I think microwaving.
I wouldn't even call that cooking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
he if I were like a hero in a comic book, this man would be my villain. Like I am still just like trying to wrap my mind around like the thought process of being like, yo, let me flush this cereal down the toilet. Like, and he's doing this while sober, I'm assuming, right? Like,
yeah, I mean it's in the morning.
Yeah, so like, all right. So I don't know if the podcast has heard this or not, but when I'm drunk, sometimes I piss in the sink if like the toilet is taken, okay?
Yeah.
And
I would say consistently while you're drunk, you make a point to piss in the sink.
Yes, sometimes I'm feeling a little frisky, so be it, whatever, okay? At that moment in time, I am under the influence, my inhibitions are at an all-time low, and I let it fly in the sink, okay? And it's usually because the toilet's already taken, okay?
Right.
This man has multiple other options, and he's not fucking smashed out of his mind. Like,
that is a key point.
Joseph,
I just don't get it.
You mentioned they don't have a garbage disposal. They have a drain catch, though.
Not a good one.
Okay. That would also solve some of these issues.
All right,
it's the one. It's like the one we
real-
had at O House, where like you kind of have to have it at a weird angle and doesn't really
Right.
catch everything. And if you put it down, then it stops. It like
The
plugs
real
up the
issue,
thing.
though, I mean, you could engineer a solution to this one way or another. The real issue is this man eats cereal on a consistent basis and yet
Yes.
cannot accurately measure how much he's going to eat. That blows my mind.
Like,
I don't get it. Is it like he makes the first bowl and he's like, oh yeah, I'm fucking hungry for a second bowl, fills it up to the brim, pours in some extra milk, takes 4 bites, and is like, fuck. like
what I think is most mind blowing about this is like, how is he so fucking weak? How can you not power through the bowl? You're like,
I know.
oh, my stomach's gonna hurt if I finish this cereal. Oh, my stomach. And it's just like, holy fuck, dude. There are people that would kill to have that bowl of cereal. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, just, God, like, how, he's got to be such a fucking front wiper. Like, I have no other words for him.
I mean, here's the thing. We haven't roasted this guy all podcast, but
Yo, get him on this podcast. I'll fucking roast his ass live.
Podcast.
Do we want to go in on his PC setup?
Oh my god, this it's
We don't
been
have
a
to.
while.
I'll leave the decision up to you because I don't even fully remember what was
Yo,
wrong with it. I remember
this
hearing about
guy's
it and hating it.
this guy's getting the smoke tonight.
Okay, so before Alyssa moved in with them, I went to hang out with her and them in their previous apartment, just for an evening, whatever. First time I met him. And Alyssa's like, oh, by the way, he also plays video games. Like, he has a computer and plays games. So it's like, oh, cool. Like, I do that. Mutual hobby. Like, I can talk to this guy about it. And I walk in, and first of all, it's front and center in the living room, which is, it's an apartment, so there's not a whole lot of space.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, walk in, straight behind the door is his computer. Single monitor. First red flag. Single monitor. And then been a while, but I want to say it was like a cheap dome keyboard that like kind of looked like it had the tall keys like a mechanical. But you know how like there's like chiclet, like a chiclet keyboard.
Like the old Dell ones.
Yeah, like an old
Yeah, the
Dell
old Dell
like
one,
fat
yeah.
dome.
Uh-huh.
So like not a nice keyboard. It's like a gamer keyboard. Like the keys are like red or something, and like I couldn't get a good gauge of the mouse. Like I didn't get I didn't take a long look, but I was
Probably had some Cheeto dust on it.
yeah, I took a quick scan and I knew instantly who this man's was. And it was I don't know, I think it was one of those like Corsair, which is like a brand that makes, like a bunch of computer parts. They have a couple like pre-built computers that they do, like intro level ones, and it was clearly one of those. And I was like, my man, like I get it. Not everyone has the money to spend on a nice computer, and that's fine. I get it. But like I had the impression that he was a gamer and he could not commit is all I'm saying.
It sounds like there's a Twitch streamer, Tyler One, who's like a League of Legends streamer. And he's known for like, I mean, he's a really good like player, but he's known for having just an absolute like dog shit computer, like literally like a $5 keyboard, one of like those shitty like Dell mice, and like just like a $40 pair of like headphone or like a headset, and he routinely just like breaks them, which is why like he uses like the cheap ones. But like I'm just picturing this guy just like he's gotta play
smashing the keyboard in half.
Yeah, and like he has to play like just some nasty ass games, right? Like he's got to play like he's probably like League, Dota.
I was gonna say I gotta feel like he's a League guy.
Yeah.
I all I know is that he plays Call of Duty a lot.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what other games he plays.
And I bitched about gatekeeping a couple weeks ago, so I don't want to gatekeep this guy if he's a gamer or not. But I'm just saying all this together paints a certain picture. The cereal, the keyboard, the part-time when he has a degree and could choose to get a job if he wanted to, but he doesn't want to work that much. These things just kind of, it's a certain person that I don't really want to be friends with,
Yeah.
They're not cleaning up his shit,
He was really bad about just, I would come over to their house every once in a while, or, I mean, pretty frequently, but like, there would just be piles of dishes. It's like, this has been sitting out for days.
I would start moving the dishes into his fucking bedroom.
I told Alyssa to put them on the floor because they were there's not much counter space, and it took up a quarter of the counter space, and I was like, just put them on the floor, get them out. They're in your way. They're piled up in the sink, on the counter, like, and for whatever fucking reason, her roommates put the drying rack in the other sink. Like there's two, like a double sink. So the drying rack is in one, which doesn't make any sense to me.
It makes zero sense.
And then dirty dishes are in the other. So you really can't clean your dishes that well. Yeah. It's like, just put them on the floor. Get them out of your way.
I'm sure the logic was drying rack to drip into the sink, but you sacrifice this place where dirty dishes should go, and you need a spot to actually do the dishes. So you obviously just get like a mat for the drying rack.
Well, that's the thing. It was on a mat initially, but they wanted to put a display for their coffee mugs and pastries.
Oh my god!
Assorted like cookies and shit on that counter space.
And that was another but they don't care about the mountain of dirty dishes.
And that was another quarter of their counter space that was deleted with fucking coffee mugs and week-old store-bought cookies.
This episode has turned into absolutely destroying Alyssa's roommates.
Excuse me, they were not week-old. They were multiple month-old cookies and shit. Just sitting there.
All right, I take it back. This guy isn't a fucking villain. This guy's like a slug. That's all he is. He's not even good enough to be a human.
Jesus Christ.
He's inhuman.
I think I forget exactly the wording I gave, but I was talking to Alyssa and I were talking about him
Mhm.
because obviously. And I was just saying, like, Dayton, you would not survive in that house at all. Like, just like, if you would walk, I can imagine you walking in, looking at it, making your face, and walking out the door. Just like, I can't be here. I cannot. Like, I've never seen him eat, but I can only imagine that he chews with his mouth open and loudly. He just seems like that kind of a
He
guy.
seems like a fucking mouth breather too, which is another strike against him.
I think back sometimes on how lucky we were that, I mean, our house was not clean. I'm just put that right off the bat. It was
But
not clean, but it was serviceable, and we
it
kept it
was
more or less in
worlds
order.
cleaner than this house. Like, I thought like our dishes got bad 2-3 times in the 2 years we were there. Like
Yeah.
like right after Thanksgiving or whatever. Like
The
people
issue
would
we
come
had
back.
was people would like put it in the sink and then they forgot it was theirs, and then
Yeah,
no one would want to do it, but we eventually would just crank it
but
out.
like it got to the point. It's like there's 2 pans that are clean and like one kitchen knife and 2 bowls that we're gonna eat out of. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was just like there's nothing available to
Dude,
like
when
to
that
use.
when that shit happens, I literally hoard like one good spoon, one
Yeah,
bowl, and then I just wash them, and then I hide them, and then I
behind
I
the
just use
radiator,
those. Yeah,
the
yeah.
second floor
That
radiator.
was actually
That's
me who
Dayton
hid
was.
half our
See,
plates.
no one actually stole our plates that night at the house. Dayton was just slowly hoarding them when he got drunk.
Yeah, so for context, we had a party one night, and then the next day, I don't even think we realized plates were missing because we had a shit ton of plates.
It
So like, I
took a
don't think,
while to be like, there's less plates than normal.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then somebody discovered that somebody had put like 5 or 6 plates behind the radiator in the second floor bathroom.
It was a
Like,
solid stack of
Yeah,
plates.
who discovered it?
It was Alan.
Was it Alan?
yeah, because they were
Yeah,
using
I
our
remember.
bathroom.
I remember sitting in the kitchen and Alan walking down with a stack of plates and being like, these were behind the radiator. And we're like, what are you talking about?
That's a good prank to pull at a party.
Yeah.
Nobody
It
gets
is.
hurt.
No damage,
Property
no
is
harm, no
destroyed,
foul.
which happened at some of our other parties. But I'm thankful that living in that house, and also when I was in New Zealand, live with 4 other people, because like when you live with a certain amount of people, you have to just do your dishes right away because there's just a limited supply of like dishes available for everyone. So if you don't do them, then no one else will be able to eat. So like that just
Mm-hmm.
submit it, or I don't know. Now I have to do dishes right away all the time. Like it's just in my
Yeah.
body now.
Well, yeah, we had the one rule. We had one. What is
We
it?
got one
3
rule.
rules in the house. One kitchen rule in our house, which is you always wash the pizza cutter immediately.
Immediately after you use it.
Immediately wash the pizza cutter, and I still do that.
I still do, because we had so many frozen pizzas getting cranked out in that house. If you forgot and somebody came down, they're making a frozen pizza, like, where's the pizza cutter? It's like, oh fuck, I didn't wash it. It's in the sink. Like, you gotta just do it immediately.
Yep, and put it in a different spot every time. That was always the
That's hilarious, too.
key.
It's either in the
I love
drying rack or the Lazy Susan or in a drawer or in some random cover.
Was it me who started doing that and I don't even eat pizza? Like
Yeah, we started gaslighting some. I think it was Cooper too about it. Like, dude, it's always been in the Lazy Susan. Why would we put the pizza cutter in the knife drawer, man?
Yeah.
I know we gaslighted Cooper a lot and that stuff, but he deserved it for the cup situation, dude. He always fucking denies it whenever we bring it up. But this man leaves cups fucking everywhere, dude.
Dude, when he comes out here, I'll do an update. If he
I've
leaves
seen
cups
it at
out.
Joseph and Gabe's house when I was there last year. I fucking saw it. And when you call it out, he's like, "No, I don't do it as much anymore." There's still fucking.
He's
little
like, no,
plastic
it
cups
wasn't me. I
everywhere.
didn't do it. He flat out denies it.
It wasn't me.
Luckily, he doesn't watch or listen to this podcast, so I won't get an angry text from him. But
Oh, what a true friend. All right, well, that was a solid half of the podcast right there. Alyssa's roommate. Dave, do you want to go into your topic?
Yeah, so this is gonna be a hard 180. Hard 180. So I was thinking of it when I was out running today, and I was just like I felt like very like so I was trail running, right? And I trail run at like the local state park here. That's like literally like 5 minutes away running. And I was like I got into like the woods, like into like the trail system, and I just felt like very like unsettled, which is like very weird because I've ran there probably like I don't know, probably hundreds of days like that I've lived out here in Connecticut. And
Hmm.
I've never felt that before. And what it was like it was dead silent. There were no birds chirping, no like frogs, like because like the spring peepers like going like crazy right now out here.
Hmm.
They're like yeah, there are no birds, there's no wind, and fog was rolling in,
Ugh.
and I was just like, damn, okay, like this is like really fucking creepy. And it took me a little bit to like realize like all the different like elements of like why I was feeling so like unsettled and why this felt
Hmm.
so fucking creepy to me. And that's kind of what I want to talk about is like what things do you guys find just like very unsettling or like very just like creepy that like chills you to like your fucking bones.
So, Dayton, in that situation for you, do you think the unsettledness, that's not a word, comes from like, I don't know, like something bad could happen, like something could pop out right now, or like, like, do you have an idea of like where that kind of like feeling was coming from?
Well, so I was thinking about it on my run, and the only thing that I could think of was it wasn't necessarily like the fog. Like the fog is like eerie by
Hmm.
itself, but I think that the thing that was unsettling me the most was the fact that it was dead silent. Like
Mm,
I have never been out there and it has been that silent. Like when you're in the woods at night, it's going to be more or less silent. Like you'll maybe
right.
hear some wind, maybe you'll hear some like raccoons or something like rummaging around, but this was at like I don't know 6:30, 7 o'clock or so, and I like definitely still some like daylight, like an hour or so left of daylight, and there were no birds or anything like that. And like I was thinking, and I was like maybe it's because like subconsciously, like back when we were like fucking monkey brains, uh, like animals would be quiet when there's like danger around, and
Hmm.
then like maybe because like my monkey brain's like it's really quiet right now when it's usually not quiet, maybe that means that there is like danger around.
Right.
Yeah, like all the other animals are hiding.
Yeah,
Like I
Yeah.
should be hiding too, not
Yeah.
fucking
not
stomping through the
yeah, not
woods.
frolicking through the woods in my short shorts and be like ooh.
Which is what you normally do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's how you gotta
that's how
run,
normal people run.
Yes. Yeah, I think similar to that, a feeling that I always had that creeped me out. And just being alone in a city at night gives me the
mm,
creeps because that's
mm,
something like someone could pop out or but when I worked in high school I worked in a catering company, wedding catering company, and often the locations were in Minneapolis, and I get out of there at like 11:30 midnight
mm.
30 or whatever, and I'd have to walk back to my car, and I always had this feeling like my car's been stolen. Like I always assumed my car was stolen, and I just would be nervous till I saw it. I'm like, okay, we're good. I think it was partly walking back to the car alone at night, and
Mm.
then I don't know, Minneapolis. I'm just like assuming I'm not from the city, so I'm like, oh yeah, shit gets stolen here all the time, and nothing ever got stolen until it fucking did. My bike got stolen after I moved there,
Broad
but
daylight too.
I always had like that kind of like eerie, spine shivery feeling until I saw
Mhm.
my car. And I'm like, okay, we're good. But never like that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Joseph.
I again like getting into my car at night freaks me out, and I
Mm.
don't know why. I don't know if it's
Oh.
like I think there's gonna be someone in the back seat. I mean, I constantly check the back seat when I get into my car at night. And like I think I've seen like too many movies of like people like sitting in the back seat and like grabbing the driver because like what are you
Uh-huh.
gonna do when you're driving a car? Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't stop driving it. Like you're gonna calmly pull over to the side of the road, like you know. And then it didn't help. uh Alyssa and I watched this Netflix docu series on the Night Stalker in
Mm.
California. Was this guy in like the 80s or 90s who like was just killing people in the middle of the night, like there was like no correlation like between age or gender or anything, and just like massacring and like raping these people, like horrible,
Jesus
horrible shit.
Christ.
Yeah, it was really bad. He's dead now. He died in prison, so it's safe. But anyway,
The world
but
is
like,
safe now because one person's dead.
yeah, that's actually it was a pretty good docu-series. I don't like the docu-series format, but that's a whole nother discussion.
It's on
Anyway,
that episode.
like in the like after like episode 2 or 3, when he's like full height of his shenanigans, as like I leave her house and I'd like walk up to my car and be like, I don't want to go outside. like I've never been in a situation like that where like I've been attacked or anything, but like it still just like gives me the creeps. And I noticed it mostly in high school when I'd go to my friend's house, because he lives out in the boonies, and then he likes horror shit. So like we'd play like horror video games, and he's like, okay, see you later. It's 10 o'clock at night. Go outside into the woods where your car is parked and drive home. And it's like, oh, you're going to leave the outdoor light on for me? No. Have fun in the dark. So like that would always freak me out. And then like I would be like shaking in my car until I got to like the city,
Yeah.
where like there were street lights.
Right.
See, Joseph, it's funny. It's funny that you say like, oh, I
You can go, dude.
all right, I'll go ahead. All right. So like when I was younger, I used to be really into like urban legends and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I remember it was like this comic book of like urban legends, and one of them, I forget what like the urban legend was called, but basically it was like somebody would like hide in the back seat of like your car, and then like somebody, like you would be like driving, or like the person would be driving it, and then there would be a car like driving behind you, and like in like the story, like a car was driving behind them, and this person was like the person driving was like super confused why this person was like following them all this time, and why they were like flashing their headlights at them.
Yeah.
And what like eventually, like, you know, like how the story goes is that the person was flashing their headlights at like in like the rear view like mirror, when like the person would like get up and like start like reaching towards the driver, they would flash them, and then like the person would like drop back down. And like I
I don't like
remember
that.
like thinking like when I read that story, you know, I was like fucking like, I don't know, like 4th or 5th grade when I read that story, and I was like, holy shit, that's so creepy. Like, and I don't know, I'm still fucking creeped out by it, but like
Thanks for that, Dayton.
I think maybe they were called like no, I think that was a different one. I think that one was like the ankle slasher or something, where like they would hide out like underneath your car,
I've heard of that.
and then
Yeah.
like when you get close to them, they just like cut your ankles with a knife. Like
I don't know if that's I've heard of like or like women being afraid of that happening. Like
I
don't know if
believe
it like actually happens, like people attacking by like cutting your Achilles tendons like that.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh, was Alyssa weighing in on this?
Yeah, she made a very disgusted face when I said that.
Understandably so.
I know I've heard like, yeah, it was in like high school like health class or something. They're like, yeah, whenever I like, be careful getting into your car if it's parked next to another car in like a busy parking lot, if like someone's underneath the other car or something. Because they wouldn't hide under your car, they'd be under the other car, so that when you're back to their car, it would like get an easier line at your Achilles.
I don't know. Like these are like urban legends. Like I've
Yeah,
never heard
I don't
of
know if
any
that
of these
actually
things
happened.
actually happening. So
Well, it's
But
funny
it's
you guys
still-
mentioned like stuff happening in your car, because like to me, my car is my safe space. Like once I'm in my car, I'm like, okay, we're good, you know. Everything outside the
See, that's
car,
the thing. It's your safe space until it isn't.
yeah.
I
like
don't
your
know,
house.
that stuff's never gotten to me. Like my car, yeah, when I get in, the lights are on inside, and I can look around or whatever. It's like, all right, we're toasty.
But what
here.
if you missed them? What if you overlooked them?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's fine. I trust my car. But yeah, if I'm like walking around outside at night, the older I get, the more scared of the night I get, which I think is weird. But I just don't like being outside at night, unless it's like, you know, we're like a backyard or something, like a
Yeah.
friend's house.
I
But, like,
wonder if it's because like you can actually like fully grasp now like how like what sorts of things can like actually happen versus like when you're young, you're just like, oh whatever,
there's-
I'm just gonna go do this thing. Like
There's a monster outside. Obviously, that's not a threat anymore. But like, now it's like, oh, there could actually be someone that might want to hurt me or like, steal my wallet and phone or whatever.
And I've been enjoying driving at night a lot less lately. I mean, I actually like driving at night if it's at like 1 a.m. because like no one is out on the road and you kind of just get through your shit pretty quick. But like going on like a highway at like 9 p.m.
Dusk is the worst.
I don't need to do that anymore if I can avoid it. I just don't. It's not like my vision's getting worse and like that. It's just harder. It's just harder to drive at night, and I'd prefer to not if I can avoid it.
you just need to get some monsters in you, man.
Yeah,
Some 5-hour energy.
I'll say pull a Joseph to the back-to-back 5-hour energy.
Hey,
dude,
hey,
it works.
He got that. He got that from me.
I did steal that from you, Dayton.
And
Still
I have since moved
insane
on.
move.
I've moved on to zero sugar monsters.
Ugh.
That's just more volume. That means you gotta pee more often.
Dude, I can pound 2 of those back and not have to pee for 4 hours. I can make a 4-hour trip and only fill up with gas once during it.
But you could take a 5-hour energy shot, just a little guy. I guess if you kill the first monster pretty quickly, you can use that as your pee can.
Yeah,
If you
but
really
I mean, I
need
have to fill up for gas anyway. So
Yeah.
So when you said killed the monster, I don't like. Wait. Just was just talking about fake monsters. Like energy drink. Energy drink.
Yeah, no, Dayton's the zero sugar monster. Monster energy.
Moving away from the at night urban legend creepy stuff. It sounds stupid, but I gotta bring it up because it does legitimately creep me out and like give me a shiver. It's fucking eels, dude. I hate them.
I think it's their
they're
skin.
no, it's their eyes, dude.
yeah,
Like,
it's their eyes.
it's
It's
their
like their eyes and the
faces.
shape of their mouth. Like
Yeah, and they just seem like they're up to something. Like they're evil, and they're so slimy.
They're
And-
up to something.
Yes, Joseph,
they're up to no
something.
good.
And they're so slow, But the thing about eels, I think that really creeps me out is I feel like I'm being gaslighted because when I was in New Zealand, people eat eels, and people like we were at this like nature reserve, and you could like feed eels for fun. I'm like, what fucking psychopath is feeding eels for fun? I don't need to do that. They're fucking creepy as shit. They're not cute, okay? People are pretending they like eels. Like, I don't believe it. Okay, eels are fucking creepy. I hate them.
Well, hang on a second though. Is it? I've heard that it's only like the one type of eel that you need to be like really worried about, and that's the moray eel.
They're pretty
don't know.
aggressive.
Yeah, I think those are the ones that are like fucked. The other ones I think are pretty much just like, I don't know, like
I
I'm not really
follow
worried about
an
getting-
electric eel's Twitter account. There's a Twitter account for an electric eel in some zoo, and he'll tweet out like zip zap and some shit like that. It's really funny.
Dave, I want to be clear. I'm not afraid of eels. Like, I'm not afraid of an eel hurting me. Just their existence creeps me out. You know what
So
I mean?
what do you feel about snakes?
Snakes are up to something. Eels are up to something. Eels
I
are
feel like
wrinkly
snakes
and
are
slimy.
more so up to something than eels are.
You're just saying that because of dramatizations and cartoons and shit.
I think I would agree with Jacob here. I think that eels in general, they do look kind of like more sneaky. Like they're always like just
Sneaky.
poking their head out of like some like rock or something like that. Whereas
Looking
like
around.
snakes, like most of the time, dude, snakes don't give a fuck. They're just like
That is
they're
true.
just like sunbathing like half the time. The other half the time they're unhinging their jaw and eating an entire deer in one go. But
That is valid. I don't know.
Like,
I think
know enough about snakes to know like they're just living their life. They're trying to eat a mouse or whatever. If you fuck with them, they'll fuck with you back. Eels, they're just fucking creepy and nefarious and shit. I don't like it.
See, I don't have a problem with their looks so much. Like their face or eyes, I don't think is like that bad. It's like their skin. It's
Their
like
skin's fucking
it's like a
gross.
weird leathery, like I don't know, like when they
ugh.
bend sharply, like the wrinkles in it. It's like that's not how I picture it to react to those movements. And that I'm not a big fan of. But like, I don't know, their faces aren't the worst in my opinion.
Okay, I know a stream won't be able to see this, but just for you guys, I'm just putting a picture in chat, okay? You can't tell me that anybody likes this thing.
That's
Okay.
kind of it's got the glass teeth or whatever. Those are
It's
cool.
fucking disgusting and scary and creepy. Okay, I don't like it. Just get these eels out of here.
I think it's cool, but like its neck, I don't like looking at its neck.
Yeah, they're so long and ugh.
Oh yeah. Oh God, dude. I just pulled it up on my phone because all my monitors are taken up right now.
Right.
But
Yeah.
oh, dude. Yeah, like what is it? What is it about them? Like,
I hope Gabe got a notification for that. And he's like, "What the fuck
I think
is this
you know what it
picture of
is?
an eel?"
Is that they're dead inside. Like their eyes are dead
yes,
inside. You know
They
what I
do
mean?
have
yes.
soulless eyes.
They're like birds in that fact. And also
Well,
birds
birds
also
aren't
creep me
real.
out.
Birds aren't real. They
I
shouldn't
know
creep
they're
you
not
out.
real, but they still creep me out. The way that they have to look at you by turning their head is like very, you know what I mean? It's very unintuitive because like when you think about
Well, yeah,
any
because they're
creature,
prey. They're not predators usually.
right? But like when we're talking to humans, each other, or like obviously dogs, and cats, like the eyes are both in the front of the face. You look at them head on. Birds, they're split half and half. So when they're looking at you, it looks like they're looking away from you. Don't like that. And then they also are dead inside with this is how they look, and they don't give a fuck about you, man. They're gonna
Yeah.
do whatever they want to do, and it's creepy as hell.
Yeah, I also wonder if it's the fact that eels all the pictures of them always have their mouth like slack jawed, like they're always just like
Yeah.
like that, and like they're always just like baring their teeth, dude. You don't see snakes doing that. Snakes are chill. Like you don't see
And
a
like
fucking
you can find a picture of a cute snake. You know what I mean? A little baby
Yeah.
snake kind of smiling at you.
Yeah.
You don't see any cute eels.
no, definitely not, definitely not.
Also, Gabe responded in the chat and said, "What the fuck is your guys' topic?"
Wouldn't he like to know?
But yeah, exactly. I say birds the same way. And have you seen the movie The Birds, the Alfred Hitchcock movie, Joseph?
No, but I've seen Birdemic, Shock and Terror, and Birdemic 2, The Resurrection.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
familiar, but I can't imagine it's worse than The Birds.
Oscar nominated films.
No.
Dave, are you familiar with this movie?
I've heard of
With
it.
the
Yes,
birds?
yes.
You know
I
what
mean, I've
happens
heard
in
of
this
it.
movie?
It's same thing as Birdemic, I'm guessing.
The people are in a house and the birds just start suiciding into the roof to try to
Yep.
get in.
That's
Like a swarm
very.
bird just
See, the
horrifying.
difference between the birds and Birdemic is in Birdemic, the birds explode when they dive bomb. So
That's better. I think it's creepier to have the bird stuck in the roof dead with its like its
Yeah.
beak stuck in there.
Yeah, I would agree.
That's
What
my
other,
that's
like,
my top creepy thing, I think.
what other like animals do you find like creepy? Because to be honest, dude, I find horses very creepy. I do not like horses.
Really? I like
I
horses.
feel like deer are like not what when I picture a deer, it's one thing, but when I see a deer, the face is always just a little off from what I picture it. And it's a little unsettling. I don't
I
know.
don't know.
It's weird.
I've seen quite a few deer out when I've been running, and they're always
I mean, I've seen deer
Cute, yeah.
too. Like I don't know, like my uncle has like he hunts, so he's got like deer heads like up. But like something about like a living deer, just like the way it like I don't know, something about its face is just like not what I expected it
Is
to
it
be.
the
it's
all black eyes?
Yo, it's like the face shape specifically. Like I don't like the snout or whatever. It's just like a little off from like Bambi or like how you see in like a cartoon or a drawing. And it's just enough to like, is that really a deer or is this something else? I don't know.
Whenever I see a deer, I feel like you can just immediately tell it's like, oh yeah, you're prey. You know, like, I feel sorry for you. Like
You're a
you're
bitch.
cute, but you are on the run, and I feel bad. But Date, I'm curious on this horses thing because have you gone like horseback riding like that?
No, I haven't.
He's vegan. Why would he ride horses?
Yeah, that's fair. No, dude, like I think that the things like that bother me about horses is like one, they're always very big, right? Or not ponies. I don't find ponies to be unsettling. I find horses to be unsettling.
Okay.
And I think it's because like they're so big, and also they're always like so fucking unpredictable. Like
They're dangerous for sure.
yeah, and also like their eyes, and also why the fuck are they so veiny? Like good God, like
That is true.
like it's just like oh, and like they're always like shaking flies off of them by like flexing their skin muscles, and I'm just like bro, like I understand why they're doing it. It doesn't mean I gotta like it though, and but it's the combination of the whole veiny things. Like why are they so fucking veiny? And their eyes are always just like fucking bug eyed. And dude, when they bare their teeth and they're like, "Nee!" like I'm just like,
I think okay.
I'm
yeah,
like, put
horses
that.
definitely can be super creepy. Like in certain, I don't know, like shows or whatever, when it's like an all black horse and it's like kind of fucked up and like the red eyes and shit. That's
See,
and super veiny and like jacked. I'm like, okay, that's creepy.
see, I don't find that creepy at all. I find like the fucking regular ass horses like creepy.
I don't know. So I've gone horseback riding a couple times, and that was when I was younger, like in Arizona, we did it. And after watching, like you're going, and it's like a line of horses. After watching my horse eat the shit that came out of the horse in front of me, I'm like, okay, these things are not that big of a deal. These things are stupid, and they shit forever because they're so big. Like they start
Uh-huh.
shitting, and they don't stop for a solid 4 or 5 minutes.
Oh, dude, I'm
Yeah.
honestly this is a side tangent based on horses. Why I fucking hate horses. Uh, and it, dude. So at Bluff Point, right, where I fucking run all the time, where I
Mhm.
felt creepy today, they allow horses there, and I don't have problem with horses on like the main like fire road. Like Jacob, like you've been on there. Like there's
Yeah.
like a fire road that goes around. And it's like 3.5 miles or whatever. Fine, horses can go on that multi-use trail, no problem. But there's like single track there, which is for like mountain biking, hiking, and like trail running and stuff like that. Recently, people have been taking their horses out onto the single track,
Ugh.
and
How is there
dude,
enough clearance,
I honestly don't know. I don't know
like
how.
vertically?
I don't know. And like it's also very technical. Like I would feel like very uncomfortable having a horse on those because like they could, break their leg out there, and then how the fuck are you gonna get a horse out when like the easiest way to get out is like walking a mile on single track.
To be fair,
But
horse is actually pretty good at that kind of stuff. But I think the danger is having like a mountain biker come up on a horse or vice versa, or if a horse come up on like a walker or something. I feel like that
And
could be
like
really
getting
dangerous.
spooked. Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the reason why I'm fucking most disappointed, so I've never ran into one on the single track, is because so single track, right? It's maybe like at most like 3 feet wide. Like maybe it's
Yeah.
usually about
If
2 feet
that.
2 feet wide, like usually. And dude, the fucking horses shit in the middle of the fucking trail, and they literally
Yeah.
take up the entire width of the trail with their horse shit. And it's just like that is my main gripe with it. Like,
Yep.
don't go on the single track. Like I understand that dogs, right? Dogs are eating meat, and because of that, like their poop isn't like it doesn't break down like herbivores poop does. Like so. I don't care from like the environmental like standpoint of like having like poop on the trail because like you have to make sure that you pick up dog shit.
No, I mean,
It's
it's a large amount of shit to
It
get.
is-
No one's picking up. No one's got a horsey bag, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. No one's there to pick it up. So like me, sure, I'm when I go running on it, I can just like jump over it or go around it. A mountain biker, dude, like they have to go like straight through it, and especially if it's on like a downhill or something like that, they're not gonna have time to like react to go around it. The mountain bikers have to go right through it, and yeah, dude, I
Yeah,
fucking
'cause the
hate
thing-
horses.
Yeah, it's not like you hate them, not necessarily find them creepy, but
I
Oh,
hate
horses
them and I
Weird to
find them
have
creepy.
hooves.
okay.
I
Yeah,
think
'cause the thing with
having
the
hooves is my biggest gripe. Like imagine
fan of
not
hooves.
having feet. I don't know. Like
It's
Yeah.
like a giant fingernail, I guess.
yeah,
Some
but
material.
like having
Giant
one.
fingernail.
I don't know. Like imagine like not having any dexterity in your foot.
You know what I think is actually creepier to think about is putting in horseshoes, like
Yeah.
driving nails into that shit, which like they don't feel it, but you know,
As far as you know.
I think we would know. I think they would be very upset if you were
True.
driving nails into their foot.
I don't know. I think
Uh,
cows are pretty upset when they get branded, but keep on doing
That's
that.
very different scenario. Again, horses do not have nerve endings that far down in their hooves.
Unless you get long nails. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know anything
I don't
about
know
it.
the specifics of horseshoeing.
Bottom line,
I agree
fuck
they should not be on
horses.
single track. Yeah, because sorry, with the horse pooping thing, if you have a dog, you're walking your dog, right? And the
Mhm.
dog has to shit, it stops, it shits, and you're holding the leash and you pick it up, right? No big
Mhm.
deal. Horses poop while they're walking,
Mhm.
and also that person's not going to get off the horse and go clean that shit up,
No,
you know?
no.
So and whose
What are they
job
gonna have
is
a
it?
shovel on their
You
back? while
literally
they
need
do
a
it?
shovel. You would literally need a shovel. And
Yeah.
also, you might even know what happened. Like, you might hear the plopping behind you,
Mhm.
but you won't. The horse, like I said, the horse stops. You might not even know what happened. It's just don't do it. It's a bad move.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I know I do find them creepy though. But I think that my hate for them is overwhelming the creepiness of them.
That's fair. Joseph, any particular animals do you stand out?
None that haven't already come up that I can think of. It's a big thing with, I don't know, beady, soulless eyes is a
Mhm.
big thing. Like some rodents, like white mice with their red eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That fucks me up sometimes. Um, but I'm trying to think of like, I don't know, not really. Certain fish are kind of weird. Like
It's
I had a
another kind
fish,
of lifeless thing. Yeah.
I had fish like in high school. I had a fish tank that I took care of for a while, and like though, like I kind of felt like like I was like, okay, they're not as dumb as you may think. They're not that smart either. Like I'm not trying to
Mhm.
preach fish intelligence, but they're not that dumb. But like I don't know if you ever seen like a muskie
Mm-hmm.
like fresh like live. Like those things are nasty fuckers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was out. This was like in like sixth grade or something like that. We were out on a cruise in the Bahamas, and on
Hmm.
like one of the excursions, we went out and what is it called when you snorkeled? We snorkeled.
Yeah,
Mm.
We didn't dive. We just snorkeled, and
yeah.
there were like these like dive like platforms like out in like the ocean, and
Hmm.
there was like a lifeguard out on top of like one of them, and like I would just kind of like swam down a little bit and like looked around, and there was this big fucking grouper, like literally
Oh.
3 feet long, right? And these things are
Hmm.
just like girthy ass
Mhm.
fish.
Mhm.
This motherfucker was sitting there on the fucking ocean, mouth ajar, okay, fucking slack
Mhm.
jawed down there, and I
Hmm.
just like freaked the fuck out because these things have like teeth like at least like an inch long,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh hell no, I'm getting the fuck out of here. And then like I like rush up to like the surface, and I end up like kicking my uncle in the face like numerous times with my flippers on, and I'm just like, get me out of here. But that's like another case of like just like gigantic fish, just like very just like it's the combination of the slack jawed and the beady eyes, I think.
The creepy
Dude,
thing with fish is that most fish, obviously it depends on like the species and like the environment, but like most fish don't have a size limit to them. Like it's how
mm,
long they live and how much food they can eat and like how cramped of a space they live in.
Mm-hmm.
But like certain catfish, like there's no, but people don't know like how big they could theoretically get. Like if you kept feeding them and like giving them enough space, like they'll just keep growing.
it's
Mm-hmm.
So
insane.
like fish can just fucking grow, man. Ugh.
Also, I just want to say what we're all thinking. Fuck snorkeling. Okay,
I
snorkeling
don't think
fucking
snorkeling's that
sucks.
bad.
Dude, you go
I
down
kind
way
of
too
like
deep,
it.
you got salt water up in your fucking mouth and shit. I feel so
Yeah.
claustrophobic in those things. I don't know if I'm like breaking the surface yet or not. Just the whole breathing apparatus situation just fucking sucks.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that it's much easier just to hold your fucking breath.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like either give me a tank or let me hold my breath. But the tube,
But
I'm
Mm-hmm.
not a
like
fan.
I don't know, like how long can you hold your like if you're swimming and like constantly like turning your head to like look down? I don't know.
I'm
I don't
not.
You
know.
can get like good
Will up.
snorkels that have a one-way valve on them, and so like water will like kind of drain out if it does get in.
It's more the claustrophobic thing because I hear the sound of my own breathing,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
and it's just creepy. You know, back to the creepy stuff. Like I don't like it. I'd rather hold my breath for 30 seconds or probably I don't know 20 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Go up, grab some water, and go back in.
Grab some water.
Yeah,
Grab a
little
big
salty,
mouthful of water.
salty beverage there. All right, well, that was a fucking episode. Um, thank you all for listening to us shit on, Alyssa's roommate and things
Old
that are
roommate.
creepy. Old roommate. If you like that, go and follow us on Instagram at ewfpodcast and follow us on Twitch at ewf_podcast. You can find new episodes of our show every Monday on YouTube and podcast services. But until next time, bye.
See ya.
Bye.